one-on-one with a teacher, a certified teacher that's knowledgeable and educated on how to help that student, it is phenomenal how much growth that student can have. And we find that 2 times a week is a little bit overwhelming for the student. Sometimes it can be beneficial if they're working on reading and math, but really we found that one day a week is usually
in
best.
high school, I would say if you have multiple subjects, you might be coming in twice a week, but probably upwards of 90% of our students that we work with on a weekly basis are coming in once a week. And I mean, I still tutor myself because I love it. And because again, seeing that difference that the one-on-one makes, I mean,
it's crazy.
It is extraordinary. I wish I could impress that to anyone listening. Just it's so moving to me as the tutor. It's just to watch their faces grow and their confidence grow and their academic ability grow, and to have them then go into school and be raising their hand and volunteering to answer questions
and excited.
Welcome to the Erie Wellness Podcast, your go-to source for all things health, wellness, and living your best life right here in Erie. I'm your host, Lauren Brunetti, and I'm so excited to have you here. Each episode will dive into conversations with local experts and wellness professionals who are making an impact in the world of health and well-being. Before we jump in, be sure to like, share, and comment on this episode. We love hearing from you and seeing our community grow. Now let's get started. Welcome back to the Erie Wellness Podcast. Today, I'm joined by 2 incredible educators in our community, Lauren and Brittany, the founders of Teachers Who Tutor here in Erie. As teachers, they notice something in their classrooms, and that's that students thrive when they get personalized attention. And that insight sparked their mission to create a tutoring company that not only helps kids catch up, but gain confidence and excel. And as parents, I think many of us can relate. When your child is struggling in school, it can feel overwhelming and you wonder if it's something you did or didn't do and why it seems to come so easily for other kids. I know those feelings and I know many of you do too. That's why I'm so excited for this conversation. We'll talk about which students can benefit most from tutoring, and we'll also look at the proactive side, how their team is supporting families with long-term goals like college preparation. It's going to be an encouraging and practical discussion, so let's dive in. Welcome, Brittany and Lauren.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, we're excited to be here.
Yeah.
So we are recording an evening podcast just because you guys are in school during the school day. So thanks for taking the time this evening to record with me. How is the start of the school year going?
It's been great. Yeah. It's been actually an easy transition this year.
Yeah, it's funny. Each year is kind of a different feel. The group of kids really makes a big difference. There's years when we've had 31 in our classrooms that have made it seem a little bit more challenging. This year I have 25.
Yeah, 24.
Which is great. So. That's definitely doable. So just the size of the classroom really can make or break the start of a school year.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad the school year is off to a great start. I'm really looking forward to our discussion because like we talked about, when your student is thriving in school, it's just so much better for a family's overall health and well-being. So can you share how Teachers Who Tutor got started 7 years ago for the 2 of you?
Sure. Lauren and I met in 2015, and I was her son's teacher, 3rd grade teacher.
And he's a senior now.
Yeah, he's a senior now.
Put things into perspective.
And she was my room parent, and we just became instant friends. We worked together on parties and different things for the class. And so it was great. We just had a great relationship. And then later on, she became my student teacher. So that was really fun to have her in my classroom teaching with me. And, I found that a lot of parents at parent-teacher conferences were complaining a lot about they didn't know how to help their child at home. They didn't know how to give them extra support. And they were asking me what I could do to do that, or to help with their student with support.
Right.
And I really didn't have any answers for them. I couldn't really tell them how to support their kids other than reading with them at night and, making them sit down and do their homework.
Yeah.
And so this company kind of just came from that, and came from seeing that parents were struggling. And so when Lauren became my student teacher, I said, hey, do you want to start this company with me? And she was like, sure, let's do this. And so she immediately, was excited about it and had as much passion as I did about it, and really wanted to help parents and help students and help teachers in their classrooms with these kids, and being able to have a solution for them after school. And so it was great. That's how it kind of all started and
I think
came about.
At that time, we have 4 kids. She has 2 and I have 2. And I think at that time we had a preschooler, 2 4th graders, and a 6th grader. So we were in the throes of parenting and academics with kids. And so then we were eventually, once I started teaching, we were both teaching, we were both parenting, we were both realizing the struggles twofold as parents and as teachers, and just realized, gosh, now we know exactly what we can do to help everyone, to help parents, to help students, to help teachers.
And really just go into the community and support our fellow members of the community. And we also created a scholarship program to also help students in need, because we also we saw students that were struggling academically, and they were low income students. And so we started reaching out to different companies and to help us with scholarships as well. So we really wanted to bring in the community and help students.
Awesome. And was it just the 2 of you the very first year of business?
Yeah, it was just the 2 of us. We started tutoring. We started asking a lot of our friends for support on, hey, how do we start a company? How do we do this? What happens? And then we started asking our friends, a lot of fellow teachers, to come on and tutor with us. And
because we were educators. We were educators. We were
no
not
idea how to start a company.
We were not entrepreneurs. And so we grew into entrepreneurs with a lot of hard work
and support
and trial and error and support and encouragement from people who just cared about us and believed in us. But yeah, it was just the 2 of us for that first summer that we started. And then we started hiring on all of our teacher friends to come and work with us and be tutors with our company.
Yeah, now we have over 70 tutors.
Wow, that's incredible.
I know, it's so cool. I mean, it's really cool.
We've doubled in size almost every year. So it's really been a whirlwind and a great adventure. So
and something that we're really proud of. It's something that, our kids, our personal kids, look at and can look at their moms and say, wow, our moms started this. They created this. They did this. Because it's, comes from our heart, because it's what we love to do. And because we have a whole group of 70 tutors who are really good at what they do, and just making a huge impact. We live in Erie and we work in Erie, and that's where our company started. It's growing, significantly outside of Erie, but it started as a really small, I would say mom and pop company, but I guess mom and mom company. Because it came from just where we live and our community that we really do truly care about.
And did you start off K through 5th grade? What was your kind of sweet spot at the very beginning?
Yeah, we started off just with K through 5th, and then we slowly grew into middle school and then high school and then college prep, and supporting SAT after that. So, and ACT. And so we have grown quite a bit.
And you still teach, which is amazing. When I was like, are you still in the classroom? And you guys are still teaching.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
very busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't like a lot of downtime.
We love it.
Yeah. We like to stay busy.
Yeah.
How has your classroom experience shaped, the way you approach tutoring?
So what we've really learned in our classroom is that every student is different. Every student is unique, and every student has different needs and different styles of learning. And what's really cool, I feel like, about tutoring is, I mean, to be honest, there's days teaching 27, 28 kids that sometimes I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm having an impact. I don't know if I'm having an effect. I just taught as hard as I could for that day. And I still just wonder, am I having an
I
impact?
really need something different.
Yes, because there are so many needs. I mean, in my fourth grade classroom, there's a range from first grade to seventh grade levels that, we're just trying our best to meet every student where they are. And to go and tutor a student one-on-one for an hour and to see how much growth they make, whether it be academically or with their confidence, it just reaffirms so much. And it kind of allows us to bring all of these areas of expertise that we have into a tutoring session and say, oh, okay, we really are great at what we do, even though
Feels
sometimes
great
it
as a tutor.
doesn't feel that way, and I really do feel like having that one-on-one time with a student, it just reaffirms why we do what we do so much.
What are some warning signs that a student may need more support outside of the classroom?
Definitely at parent-teacher conferences, that's a great time for a parent to see an overall snapshot of how their student is doing. And if they're struggling in any areas, that's a really good time to ask teachers if their student has any needs that they see in the classroom that they're missing. So I definitely encourage parents to talk to their teachers at parent-teacher conferences, really listen to the teacher as well, and listen to their concerns, or if your student has strengths.
In middle school and high school as well. I know that parents really seem to, yes, but parents really seem to come to those parent-teacher conferences in elementary school, and then they start to dwindle off in middle school and high school, when sometimes those are the conferences that you need to attend the most, just to have, even if they are short, 10 minutes, but if you can have that FaceTime and that connection with those teachers, you really do end up learning quite a bit about your student and their needs.
Yeah, and if your student lacks confidence, if your child lacks confidence and they're avoiding their homework, or they really don't, or they really fight you to do their homework and they really don't want to do it, and it's maybe taking them a really long time to complete their homework as well, those are all big warning signs that they might need some more support from someone else.
If they're complaining about going to school, if they really don't want to school, if getting them to school is a struggle, but kids at every age are a really good gauge, so just kind of talk to them and ask them, how do you feel about school? Do you feel like you're doing well in school? And if they're kind of saying, no, I'm not happy, or I'm not comfortable, or that confidence, that lack of confidence is a really big indicator.
Those are some really good questions. Hopefully parents will repeat those, like word for word, and get some answers out of the students, especially if they are being resistant towards, doing their homework or don't want to go to school, all of those things. So what are your thoughts on homework? I know that kind of getting mixed reviews, like especially during the grade school time period, where people say, oh, your kids should just be out enjoying, nature, or just being outside after school, give them time, breaks. So what's your thoughts there on homework?
I mean, I am split right down the middle, to be honest, on this, because I really do feel like there is something to be said about developing the whole child. And so instead of giving them a bunch of homework in first grade and second grade, let them be on a sports team, let them take, a music class, let them take an art class, let them just have family game night with family, let them go bike riding with friends. There is something that I truly believe about not giving an overwhelming amount of homework in elementary school. On the other hand, I do feel that when kids get to middle school, they almost get a big shock with how much homework there is. And so personally, I would feel in those primary grades, the K1, 2, no homework, right? Read with your kids, let them read to you, you read with them. But then maybe third, fourth, fifth, as they inch closer to middle school, start to introduce them to a couple of assignments a week, just so that they aren't in for such a big shock in middle school when they do have potentially an hour of homework a night.
Yeah. And try to make learning fun is really my suggestion is, read with your child every night, or at least try to when they're younger. And then they're used to reading in fourth grade. When they get to fourth grade, they're used to reading for a half an hour because that's something that is part of your routine as a parent. So if you can kind of instill that at a young age and then just continue on with it, then they kind of get used to that. And practicing math or maybe doing a recipe with them so that they can practice fractions, things like that. So making it more interactive with your child is what I really encourage for homework.
Kind of reducing the stress. Then that's one thing that I wanted to make sure we talk about in this podcast episode, because homework can become like a stress and a conflict between the student and the parent. So a lot of parents talk about homework time being a stressful time. And what advice do you have for parents who find themselves in a constant battle with their kids over homework?
I mean, call us. It's really,
Yes, absolutely.
it's
You're here
truly,
to help.
it's one of the main reasons why we started this company is because we heard it over and over in conferences. Oh, I am struggling so much. My kids and I are arguing all the time over homework. And this is something that we absolutely can do something about. Truly, it's almost a side effect of our company and what we do, but we get to keep that parent-child relationship intact and in a positive place. There's no reason that you should be arguing with your kids or your kids should be arguing with you. It's almost like kids never listen to their parents, but they'll listen to just about anyone else.
We know that from experience.
We know that from experience. Both of our high schoolers get tutoring, and her college age kid did. So 3 out of our 4 kids have used our services because of that exact reason. Because I was sick and tired of arguing with my 8th grader at the time over math, and him thinking I didn't know what I was doing and me thinking he didn't know what he was doing. And
because it was done a different way when you were in 4th grade.
And that always got pointed out.
Like that. I mean, that's a huge part of homework.
Mom, you're so old. You don't know how we do it these days.
This isn't the way that we do it.
This is the way I was taught. And so then, just truly call us. And if that's not an option, I will bring it back to what we talked a little bit about before, and just be positive when it comes to homework. I feel like sometimes parents try and be like a homework enforcer and just come on, sit down, just get it done. The quicker you get it done, the quicker you can do ABC, but really, if you can be an inspirational coach or a cheerleader when helping with homework rather than an enforcer, I feel like parents will just get more bang for their buck. If they can just keep it positive and, again, ask them questions, right? Where are you confused? How can I help you? What don't you know? Why don't you think you know it? Really try and meet them at their level as best you can. Until you can't anymore, which was 8th grade math. Then I was like, I'm done.
And having a routine, that's important as well. Having a homework routine is really what is beneficial for students, because if they know that they're doing something every night at the same time, that's also really helpful. So you don't have to fight with them to try and make sure that they're getting it done. So.
Well, and too, if they already don't really like going to school and then they come home and you're like nagging at them about school and they're just like, this stinks. My whole entire day is like not fun. Like my parents are on me once I'm at home and I don't get it and I don't like it. Then, they're just feeling so frustrated.
Yeah. And that stress level, it does. You can feel it emanate throughout the whole family. You can just.
Yeah, it really impacts everyone.
So. And then that it shuts down like them wanting to just share anything with you, I feel like too.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's any way possible to let someone else help your kids with their homework, I highly recommend it. That's all there is to it.
It's
Even if
funny, you guys were literally just speaking to me though, because we had a kid that stayed home yesterday from school because she wasn't feeling very well. And I was trying to do math with her, and I was like, I don't know how you're doing math. I'm like, sat her down. I'm like, we're gonna be doing some math together. But I was looking at the thing. I'm like, I don't understand how they are trying to teach them how to do this.
And
So
the
she's like, Mom, you don't understand. You don't get it. And I'm like,
Mhm.
hold on, let me read it. But then I feel like at that point she was like, I don't trust you. Like, you don't know what you're doing.
a lot of the wording is completely different from just a standard algorithm like that we used to get like in math. It's these huge problems trying to do multi-steps. So that's really
Mhm.
confusing for
We've
a lot of
often
parents.
talked for real and also joking a little bit about having tutoring for parents to teach them the
how to do
ways
it
that
before.
that things are taught these days to go home and then help their kids.
Yeah.
But
Right?
tutoring
Yeah, like
for parents.
you show up for tutoring, parents go one way, kids go another way.
Yes,
Then
absolutely.
they meet back up and they're like, "Oh, we've got this. We can do it."
Uh, so another thing that I wanted to talk about, because you guys brought this up that when we had our first like intro call, was that since COVID, a lot of parents and teachers feel like kids have missed the foundational skills. What are some of the biggest challenges you're seeing with things like organization, executive functioning, and even things like task initiation and schedule management in the classroom?
Definitely executive functioning COVID has had a huge impact on executive functioning for sure. And being able to schedule things, having a calendar, students are really struggling with that from COVID, as well as what we've really noticed is students that were in fourth grade when it was COVID, they are missing maybe their multiplication facts. And so now they're in ninth and 10th grade and they're really struggling with math because they don't have that foundation, or they don't have their fractions or their decimals, and they don't have that core. And so a lot of our tutors are going back and teaching those core different standards to help them. And that has been really helpful for those students who have missed all of that during COVID.
And it really is so tied into confidence. I mean, if you are missing foundational skills, you generally can't keep up with grade level material, and then your confidence just plummets and you're checked out. And it like as a teacher and as a parent, I know for both of us, it's heartbreaking to see. It's heartbreaking to see when confidence plummets and kids don't feel like they can get back on track. And every kid can get back on track, right? We can
Just a little bit of
it's
support.
just support in different ways, in whatever way that might be, in whatever way. It's hard to see kids feeling defeated for something that a lot of times wasn't their fault.
Yeah.
What would you say is a good like middle ground in terms of your kids are behind on grade level? Like how many tutoring sessions would you say they would need, like a week to get caught up?
Usually we recommend one tutoring session per week. So
Okay,
that's
so that's
like
it. Like it's not that much.
usually, I mean, it's very beneficial for one tutoring session because one-on-one with a teacher, a certified teacher that's knowledgeable and educated on how to help that student, it is phenomenal how much growth that student can have. And we find that 2 times a week is a little bit overwhelming for the student sometimes. It can be beneficial if they're working on reading and math, but really, we found that one day a week is usually the
in high
best.
school, I would say if you have multiple subjects, you might be coming in twice a week, but probably upwards of 90% of our students that we work with on a weekly basis are coming in once a week. And I mean, I still tutor myself because I love it. And because again, seeing that difference that the one-on-one makes, I mean,
It's crazy.
it is extraordinary. I wish I could impress that to anyone listening. Just it's so moving to me as the tutor. It's just to watch their faces grow and their confidence grow and their academic ability grow, and to have them then go into school and be raising their hand and volunteering to answer questions
and excited.
from an hour a week. an hour, 1 hour a week is truly the difference maker.
Mm-hmm.
And usually most of the kids are in sports or other activities. So
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to kind of schedule more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And I do really like the virtual tutoring option, especially for high schoolers, because high schoolers work and they're in sports, and sometimes their tutoring sessions are from 7:30 to 8:30 at night virtually, just because that's when they get home. That's when they have the time, but good for them for fitting it in, you know, for making this a priority, which is great.
And building confidence, you know, we know as adults is so important, because then you just show up better in all parts of your life, you know? So if they can get it inside the classroom, they're going to probably show up better in sports and around friends, hopefully more confident and like sticking up for themselves around friends, all of the above.
Yep. With family members, right? With
Really
siblings,
trickles.
hopefully. But yeah, it's like a really wonderful snowball effect.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel like parents can encourage their students when it comes to managing assignment schedules and the deadlines that sometimes school has in place?
Routine. I mean, truly, if you can have kiddos have a homework routine, that would be so beneficial. If homework can be done at the kitchen table, if homework can be done at the same time each day. And I know that seems like kind of a far stretch, but I know that we're really good about scheduling other things in our days, sports activities, music, art lessons, things like that. If you can have that homework time kind of carved out, then students just have that consistency. They have that routine. If kids can have a daily planner where they're writing down assignments or a homework checklist, or it really ties into those executive functioning skills. And in my opinion, all of those things, please, parents, like, support kids with that. And then if you can kind of create that routine, create that consistency, create that practice of writing down your assignments, checking them off, things like that, then you can really back away and let them do the majority of the doing of the actual schoolwork. But kids do, and sometimes even in middle school and even in high school, they need that support getting that routine in place. Especially kids, the prefrontal cortexes are just not developed. And so many things that adults take for granted, like sit down, write down what you have to do, and then check it off when you're done. Kids don't necessarily know that. They maybe haven't learned it or haven't learned it enough times. Maybe they've only been told that 19 times and it takes 23 times. But if you can support them to create that homework routine and that consistency, that is absolutely the best thing that you can do, because once they are in that routine, it's just like any other routine, and they should very likely thrive and flourish.
Yeah, it makes them feel in control. You know, when they can do that, they can kind of control and organize and see first task, second task, things like that. So it's very helpful.
Yeah. But they might need help getting started for sure.
So what kind of tutors are you hiring, and how do you make sure they're a good fit for the students? Because I know that's like one special thing about your particular company.
Yes, we are very excited and happy that we only hire certified teachers. And so they're educated, they are experienced, they know how to work with students. So we really pride ourselves in that's who we hire. We have a lot of tutors that we get from other tutors. So a lot of word of mouth, a lot of friends of friends, that people we trust, things like that. We also make sure that the teacher knows how to build a relationship with a student and can really make sure that they're, again, building the confidence and building those relationships. So that's kind of who we look for, our teachers that can do that.
And we really do ask parents to give us as much information as possible about their child so that we can place them with the best fit tutor. You know, if your kiddo is on a 504, has a 504 plan, or has an IEP in place, or gets literacy pull-out, we want to know all of that information. If your student has ADHD, we would like to know that information. If any piece of information that we can have that will help us really hone in on placing
that
them
tutor to that student.
Yes.
So, and then when we hire a teacher, we look to see if they have experience in special ed, if they have experience with ADHD kids, they have experience with dyslexia. So then we look really closely at those tutors, then we fit them to those students that need that support.
And certainly grade level, right? If you are looking for 7th grade tutoring, we're going to place you with a 6th, 7th, or 8th grade teacher who really knows those skills.
Middle school,
very much fits for what you're looking for.
Are you hiring primarily teachers from the district, and is it teachers that have retired and now want to do it like part-time? Like, what's kind of the combination, would you say?
We are hiring teachers that are retired, as well as teachers from St. Vrain, Boulder Valley, any teacher in the Front Range really is what we are kind of looking for at this time. And we continue to expand. So we also have a few tutors online that are in different states.
Okay.
So that are teacher friends or family friends and things like that we've kind of brought in as well, that we know are excellent teachers that can help support and help students with what they need.
Okay. What are the hours typically that you would sign up for a tutoring session?
Usually 4:00, or after school. So some schools get out at different times.
Yeah.
High school, we do a little bit earlier. So usually 3, 4:00 to about 8:00. And most of our tutoring sessions are at a public library. And then we also tutor online, obviously. And
weekends,
so some of the weekends.
Weekend tutoring.
So some weekends, and then all summer if needed. And we haven't really talked about it much, but we also do enrichment. So we also help students that are trying to advance in their grade level, or trying to, get a little bit higher in their grade, or to
make it into an honors class in 6th grade, or
that are working toward, a scholarship, things like that. So we do a lot of enrichment tutoring as well. So.
Okay. That's great. And so not just if your kid's struggling, if they want to
absolutely
improve and get better and see growth from where they're at.
Yep.
It's funny, some kids that we tutor, truly, our goal is to work ourselves out of a job, is our goal is to give them the skills and the confidence they need where they don't need to come anymore. But we found a lot of parents say, oh yeah, our kid has made it to grade level, but they don't want to stop coming. They just like that support. They like that weekly check-in. They like their tutor. They, kids come back year after year and want the same tutor because that connection is there. And so there's kids who truly really don't need tutoring anymore. And that's when our tutors get to take them and introduce them to concepts with, in that tutoring session before they see them in the classroom. So kind of front load them with that information. And so you can see kids in tutoring sessions, when you've worked with them for 1, 2, 3 years, go from being behind to being at grade level to then pushing them to even be ahead, which
really helps.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to see. Yeah.
Really helps with their confidence for sure.
That's incredible. For high school parents, what are some things that maybe should be on their radar after listening to this podcast episode when it comes to preparing for college that might not be on their radar right now?
That's a great question.
That is a great question. Really, it's kind of like, as things are changing, find out if the colleges that there's a lot of things I could say about this. We both have seniors this year, so
that are planning on going to college.
Yes. So really find out what type of college they're looking for. Are they looking for a college? Are they looking to go into the trades? Are they looking, what is their path? And then if it is a college trajectory, there's all sorts of different tests that you can take to find out what size college is best suited for your child. Some of them are like, hey, go to a big school with 40,000 kids. Some are like, no way, stick to a college with 4,000 kids. So just kind of honing in on that is really important. Find out if that college does want SAT and ACT scores. Some of them do, some don't. If your GPA is maybe not as ideal as you would want it to be, maybe you do study and prep for the SAT, ACT, so that that score will then boost your chances to get into the college that you want to get into.
And that college essay is important. So we do a lot of support for that for a lot of students as well.
College essay writing. You can get tutored just specifically in
for
writing
that.
an excellent college essay.
So for the parents listening who may feel overwhelmed, what's one simple strategy that they can try this week to make school feel less stressful for their kids and really bring a sense of wellness to the whole family?
Really, a quick thing that I can think of just to help in your household this week. School is hard. That's one thing I would love to impress to parents. School is rigorous. It's challenging.
Expectations are high.
Expectations are high from kindergarten through 12th grade. And so when a kiddo comes home from school, they're mentally and physically tired. Their brain has been working really hard. So give them a chance to decompress. Give them a chance to sit on the back patio or sit on the couch or go for a walk. Give them a snack because they're going to be hungry at any age. When they get home from school, they're going to be hungry. So truly keeping in mind, I often feel like we forget as parents just how hard school is.
And overwhelmed they are.
And how overwhelmed they are. And again, how much is expected of them. And as teachers, we know it and we see it. And I make this mistake as a parent all the time. My daughter will come home and I'll say, okay, come on, let's go. Like, let's just get your homework done. We have to do this later tonight. We have to make dinner. We have to run to the grocery store. Just get your homework done. And she's like, Mom. And I'm like, oh, okay. Why don't you take a few minutes, take 20 minutes, let me fix you a snack, and she's a 7th grader. And still I have to remind myself just to take a minute, give them some time to let their brain just do nothing. And then it'll be a lot more positive experience if you have to do homework or work together after that. And then, in the long run, kind of just making sure that they know that there is a community of support around them.
That you support them.
Because the more they see that support, the more they'll feel loved and confident and like they have the ability to excel.
I love that advice. I mean, I know that even when I get done with work, the last thing that I want to do is like I need a minute, let me decompress. And unfortunately, we don't get it as much anymore because so many people work from home. So you don't get that depress commute time like you used to for a lot of people. So that's great advice to give your students that time just to decompress, maybe start asking all the questions during the dinner time hour instead of right when they walk in the door.
Yes, because most of the time, the how was your day question is going to be fine or good or, because they're like, wait, I just went through something so mentally taxing for the past 7 hours. I can't even think of an answer for you, Mom,
Absolutely. So what is your vision for Teachers Who Tutor as you continue serving families here in Erie and beyond?
We definitely want to continue to support families and do that in the entire Front Range. So we want to continue to grow, continue to hire amazing tutors that support parents and students, and really just be part of the community.
She's being kind. Global domination is what we're looking for.
Part of the community. And like I said, something that we're very passionate about is scholarships. And so we really try to partner with our community to get scholarships for students in need. And that's something we're very passionate about, is making sure that students with low incomes have all the supports that students with high income have. And so we go to to businesses in our community and we ask for scholarships to help students one-on-one and give them one-on-one support. So that's something that we really want to continue to grow, and providing that free tutoring for those families in need. So
we want to help as many kids,
passionate about
as many kids as we can in the time that we have here. We think that what we've built and what we're building is special.
Yeah.
I mean, it truly,
really
this
is
company
different.
is our whole hearts are into this company, because we really believe in what we're doing, and we believe in the team of people that we have working with us, and we believe that we can affect change. And we would like to do that to as many people, as many students as we possibly can.
What would you say are the two main things that sets your tutoring company apart from others?
Definitely our certified teachers sets us apart. We're not giving worksheets. We don't have high schoolers helping students. We don't have a computer program helping students. We have a certified teacher that has been educated and trained and has experience and knows how to work with a student. So that is definitely something that sets us apart from everyone
And
else.
tied
for
into
sure.
that is the fit. We really do make a
Partnering them.
conscious effort to place a student with the best possible tutor for that student. And I think that that's something that we pride ourselves on, is making a good fit, a good connection. Because with that, truly anything is possible.
And I think our knowledge as teachers, we're still in the education system. We know, we see kids every day. We see parents all the time. We see teachers all the time. We know what's happening. That's also something I think that we have a huge benefit, because we know what's going on. We know what students need, and other companies, I don't feel have that kind of in that we do as teachers.
Right. Their leadership is just in the office 24 hours a day, like placing people, or not really giving the in-classroom experience that you guys are bringing to those leadership decisions every year.
Yeah, not quite understanding exactly what's going on in a classroom and what supports might be beneficial to offer. Because we previously, when we started, we didn't offer executive functioning tutoring. But when that became a need, we started to seek out those teachers that were trained in those skills. And it's only because we were in the classroom that we were able to identify that need and say, hey, we've got to bring this into our company.
Well, thank you both so much. I enjoyed sitting down with the both of you and hearing how you are making such a difference for kids and families in our community. If today's conversation resonated with you, or maybe your child is struggling in school or just looking for ways to support them more, know that you're not alone, and there are resources like Lauren and Brittany's team that can really help kids build confidence and thrive. I hope you're walking away encouraged with a few ideas that you can put into action. And if you'd like to connect with the Teachers Who Tutor, I'll have their information linked in the show notes below. As always, thank you for being a part of this Erie wellness community. Until next time, take care.
Thank you.
All right, friends, before we wrap up, here's the part I need to read to you. You know how it goes. This podcast is presented solely for educational purposes. I am just your friend behind the mic. I'm not a licensed therapist or doctor, and nothing you hear here is meant to replace the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or any other qualified professional. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you back here in the next episode. That's a wrap for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Erie Wellness Podcast. I truly appreciate you being a part of this journey. If you loved today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. For more daily wellness inspiration and behind-the-scenes content, be sure to follow me on Instagram at the Erie Wellness Podcast. I can't wait to connect with you again soon.